Guys, welcome back to another video, and today I wanted to share with you my recipe books. As you can see, there are a bunch of recipe books here, and they are all notebooks and journals that I use to write my recipes on them. And so I really hope that you are going to enjoy this video because it's a little bit different from the usual content, but it's still it's all about journaling and it's all about notebooks. And I know that all of you out there just like to see the different ways that I use my notebooks and planners and journals from my collection. So here are journals that are used to keep my recipes. One of my biggest passions is cooking, and I just have a bunch of notebooks where I do write whatever I cook. So instead of coming here, looking into a recipe book and simply choose a recipe and go to the kitchen and cook it, it's the other way around. Many of the times I just open the fridge, put up a recipe together, come back, cook it, and come back writing whatever I have cooked into the notebook. And here is whatever I have collected so far. So I'm gonna start without further ado about explaining what's in all of these cookbooks or recipe notebooks, whatever you want to call them. And this is the oldest of the bunch because this is what I call a recipe smash book, and it is an old diary that I have covered with Christmas themed wrapping paper. And here I do put cuttings of magazines and books, and even write recipes from different recipe shows that I follow or I have followed in the past. And for example, here I have a cutting from a pasta box that I had purchased, and I saw the recipe and I just kept it. And I also have a bunch of other recipes that I have written while I was following recipe programs on TV. So that is what I call my recipe smash book. Then I have another notebook, and here are what I call my recipes. And again, here I come and write recipes that I have cooked because I would like to keep them as reference whenever I would like to just pick up something that I like, or I'm putting meal plans. So it's very, very nice, and I like writing recipes too. I have another one which I call my comfort food book. This is not what I would call a healthy recipe book. I like to think about the recipes in this notebook as those things that I would be cooking when outside maybe it's raining or it's a very cold night in winter, and I need something that makes me feel very comfortable and that I can eat and watch a beautiful movie, you know, that sort of idea. So here I have a bunch of recipes. I don't have much because it has been a little bit of time since I have started this. But for example, I have personalized paella recipe, and here I have, and yeah, I take pictures of what I've cooked. My honey barbecue spare ribs, and then I have burgers and things like that. So you can imagine it's not that healthy, but it's my comfort food cookbook. This is another notebook that I have. My partner does have specific tastes when coming to food, and I always have to, basically my mind boggles about what am I going to cook for him. So I end up cooking things, mixing and matching a couple of ingredients. And when I just happen to do something which he really, really likes, I come here and I just write it down. He doesn't like seafood, he doesn't like a bunch of other ingredients. So this notebook just helps me because when I need to cook something for him where I am safe and I know that he will like it, I will just come here and look for past recipes that I have cooked for him. Before I go into the traveler's notebook, I just want to go also into this one. And I want to say that I have liked a lot for many years diners, drive-ins, and dives. And I have been watching it over YouTube, and there were a couple of recipes that I have liked. I have the recipe books from this TV program. I think I have two, but there were still some recipes that I like to copy. And so I just put on my notebook a bunch of recipes that I happened to copy. It's just a simple composition book that I've purchased. And I simply just copied them while I was watching the show. And I really like this. I have not yet tried any of these, by the way. I have what I like to call my Christmas cookbook, and here are recipes related to hope this focuses back again. Hello. So this is my Christmas cookbook, as you can see there, and here I have recipes that I have cooked during Christmas time. For example, I have my apple and walnut torta, I have mac and cheese, and a bunch of other cinnamon rolls, and a bunch of other recipes. And here I keep basically everything that has to do with Christmas, and it's very nice because if I need to, and I have included a bunch of pictures from Times Square and New York because Christmas just reminds me of New York a lot. So this is what I have included in this notebook. I'm still trying to make it good for you to see. Thank God it has focused. Sorry for that. The last two notebooks that I have that have to do with my recipe notebooks collection is this traveler's notebook that I have made, and it includes a bunch of inserts. And here I have recipes, for example, taco pizza. I have bibimbap, a recipe that I have seen on YouTube. And I also have a bunch of recipes from Facebook, like this, which is puff pizza ring, so on and so forth. So it's like sort of a smash book that I do include recipes that I copy from YouTube, from the internet, and from a bunch of other social media platforms that I have, that I follow, actually, not that I have. The last one is a notebook, a spiral notebook in A4 that I have had, I think, for the last 10 to 11 years, and it's not yet finished because having started all these other notebooks, I ended up not finishing this notebook when my objective was to finish one notebook before starting another one, but it seems it's not a trend in myself. So this is my favorite personal recipes, that's how I called it. And for example, I have apple and pear pie, pasta porcini, spinach omelette, beef and vegetables quiche, chicken legs with sauce, farfalle with large mussels, and a bunch of other recipes that I have made myself for quite a long time. And I also take a picture of the recipe. So those are all my recipe books that I've got. I have quite a bunch, I know. I do have a lot of recipe books, and it's time that I start completing them, finishing them up, and basically archive them. I hope so, at least. So I hope that I have given you a bunch of ideas on where you can keep your recipes. So you can do your favorite recipes notebook. You can collect the recipes from magazines that you find and just put them in other journals, so on and so forth. So what I've done, just to summarize it up, this is a smash book where I keep all the magazine cuttings. This is my Christmas cookbook. This is my recipes, my comfort food book, my recipes once again, my traveler's notebook for recipes, where I do keep all the recipes that I take from Facebook and all the other social media out there. This is from diners, drive-ins, and dives. This is the notebook where I keep the recipes for my partner. And that is all. And I think I have already mentioned this, my recipe smash book. And that's what I have, and I hope that you like this video, and I have given you a bunch of other ideas how you can use your notebooks. And until next video, bye.